right, man. Kansas City say they plan on playing their starters for the first half. Now, apparently, they on some type of home run, the way the schedule played out for them. So, yeah, they on some type of home run. One of their home runs they on. They play the next 2 preseason games at Arrowhead. In addition to that, their first 2 games of the regular season is at Arrowhead. So, they'll be at the crib for like 5 straight weeks because it's a week in between the last week of the preseason and the regular season. So they gonna be at the crib chilling. So they may not, get nothing like that again in their careers, to be honest. So they gonna play this homestand. They suffered one injury with a Hollywood Brown. He had a shoulder injury, so they gonna get into a rhythm. They gonna get in sync. They got some new pieces there. There was a rumor, and it was just that an internet rumor that, as far as I know, didn't even turn out to be true. That they were signing Michael Thomas, the receiver. But I think they say Hollywood Brown should be back in the beginning of the season. So that's something else to kind of chew on right there. So, but yeah, I don't know if the Lions, as I'm cutting this video, and if they do announce it, I edit it or whatever, and I say my piece. But as far as we know, the Lions are not playing their starters. Or we don't know if they're playing their starters or not. But as far as defensively, a lot of the guys in the defensive backfield are going to get a lot of work and see if they can make the team. Stephen Gilmore, they signed another dude, an ex-Jet, I forget his name. He supposed to be real fast. Vidor. So a lot of those guys are going to be jockeying for position because I can't imagine. I think Terrion done. I think Ennis Rackstraw got a mild ankle sprain, and Carlton Davis got a hamstring. So, at this point, I don't even know if the Lions going to chance it. If my memory serves me correctly, last year, the Lions from Detroit, they didn't. I know Jared Goff didn't play in the preseason. So, I mean, it'd be a great opportunity to throw Hendon Hooker out there for a full game. I would love to see that. And obviously, what you got, and St. Brown. I mean, I wouldn't even chance J-Mo being out there. He got hurt last preseason. So, really, Don Peoples-Jones, Darius Fountain, Maurice Alexander, Khalif Raymond. Really, I already know what I'm going to get from Khalif Raymond. So, some of the other guys need to play, but we already know they need to go out there and find a receiver, and they refuse to do so. But it's SOL to it ain't SOL no more. So, they on the rampage to kill that narrative. One good season don't kill it, trust me. One great season don't cancel out 30 straight bad seasons. I wouldn't say 30 bad seasons. They had some solid ones in there. They made the playoffs the year after Barry retired, and they acquired James Stewart from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they made it a few more times there. So, but yeah, Kansas City, they must got some new pieces they trying to work in. I know they got Xavier Worthy out there, so they gonna get some looks. Kelsey probably play a little bit, just to kind of get a rhythm going. I know back in the day that when they had 4 preseason games, the third game was the rehearsal. It was a dress rehearsal. They used to play in at least one drive. The offense used to play one drive into the third quarter. In college, they just hit the ground running and rolling, especially teams that come into the college season and they go play the best team possible or one of the top teams. So I'm always impressed by that, and I feel like that shouldn't be held against them losing that early. But now they expanded the playoffs to 12 teams, so that may not necessarily be an issue anymore. So yeah, that may not necessarily be an issue anymore. So. But like I said before, we'll see. Whatever you do, you get criticized for. You play your starters, they get injured, you shouldn't have played them. You play your starters, you don't play your starters, they have a shaky start to the first season, you get backlash. So that's all I always tell people when, people kind of trying to tell you, I would have did this and I would have did that. You wasn't in the moment. Most people don't even have great critical thinking skills to do that. A unless you've been through that exact situation, something very similar, I'd just be like, I ain't really trying to hear what you're trying to say. So, being the coach is tough. Yeah, being the coach is tough, man. Trying to make the tough decisions. A lot of people say, well, they practice and they scrimmage and all that. It ain't live, especially for a quarterback. It ain't live. It ain't live. Like being able, knowing you're gonna get hit and staring down the barrel, like, and then having a red shirt on, a red jersey on in practice, it's two different things. Completely two different things. So, but yeah, so I think the positive thing is a lot of those guys on that defensive side, they gonna get some good look. They gonna probably play a lot of Pascal, a lot of Levi. You're gonna get a lot of the, Rodrigo. You're gonna get probably a little bit of Derek Barnes, a lot of the Gilbert kid. I like him a lot at linebacker. So you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get a lot of guys gonna get a lot of pro experience. You're gonna see how they hold up against the NFL's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, one of the greatest tight ends ever, and probably the greatest offensive mind ever in Andy Reid. So that's good experience. That's for them Lion players that's on the bubble or that ain't for sure made it. Man, it don't get no better than this. You don't get no better than this. You don't get no better than this. If you do your job this game, you ain't even got to play that preseason game. Fuck, we need to see you out there. We send you versus the world champs. We send you versus Super Bowl champs. So yeah, to me it make a lot. This is huge for a lot of people. So if you good at returning it, you good at DB, and there's a couple DB spots up for grabs. So I don't think you need to see much of Amick Roberts. Some of them other guys, you know what you're gonna get from them. Since the rest of the DBs out, I don't want to play none of my starting DBs or guys that's gonna be important. Absolutely not. Them young guys, or like a guy like CJ Moore who ain't had a lot of reps because he was suspended for betting. But it tells you a lot about his character being able to come back from a suspension. Usually you got spend we don't want to see you no more. And kind of thinking about it too, maybe they should have brought back Quintez Cephas. Thinking about it now, maybe they should have brought back Quintez Cephas. Me thinking about it now, in hindsight, they probably should have brought back Quintez Cephas. Quintez low-key was a dog. And he had a very, very very tough run. Wisconsin, he got falsely accused of something, and I'll be trying to tell y'all, man, you got to make sure you check these women's background, you check their social media. If you got to spend a couple dollars, pay a little background check, all that. Cause one woman get upset or somebody lie, you can never get your reputation back as a man in this climate. You can just never get it. So that's why you gotta watch who you dealing with. These women will extort you, especially if they find out you weird, or they find out, or they really don't like you, or they're not attracted to you. That's why I be like dudes, that be dealing with sex workers, and that's strippers, or that's OnlyFans model, whatever you choose to do. You gotta understand, they number one thing, they basically extort money out of you, straight when you get into the door when you dealing with them. It's it really ain't a fair exchange. Your life is on the line. They can set you up. They do this for a living. So they do things that's dishonest for a living. So how can I put any stock in you? So, real talk. So if they sniff any, you being a ham, you being a lame, anybody, they try to get one over on you. They don't think you capable. So I tell dudes, keep your head on a swivel. Try to find you a woman that got the same values as you. Try to find people that got the same values as you. But yeah, other than that, man, that's all I got. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Anchor. Check out my other channel, Goodfella TV. All that's in the link tree. I'm about to go work out. I just really don't feel like it today. But gotta get done. Peace.